Ah, the jungles of Central Africa. The perfect place for a German rocket scientist to develop a questionable-looking rocket in collaboration with a murderous dictator. There's no way that this could possibly result in anything but complete success. So, how's it done? To start, it helps have a cool name, like Lutz Kaiser. He's looking around in 1975 Germany at the noticeable lack of rockets and thinks he can improve the situation. And so, he starts OTRAG, which stands for Orbital Transport und Raketen Antriebe. He's gonna throw away the junk that the Soviets and America were using and make a totally different type of rocket that would be 80% cheaper to fly. But how exactly does one make this perfect rocket? Like this? No. Like this? No. How about this? And it was this that Lutz Kaiser decided was the rocket of the future. Now OTRAG just needed a place to launch their rocket. Well, it just so happened that they bumped into one of the organizers of a huge boxing match that took place in the middle of Africa. He recommended OTRAG go to Zaire, and he even arranged for a meeting with the president, Mobutu Sese Seko. And so they met. Mobutu told OTRAG they could have any land they needed so long as the first satellite launched was a spy satellite for Zaire. Nothing wrong with that, thought Lutz, so within weeks they'd signed a contract giving OTRAG unrestricted use of 100,000 square kilometers of land. Great! The murderous dictator or president had given them their land, now they just needed to get out there and launch their rocket. Speaking of which, how does the OTRAG rocket even work? Well, I'm glad you asked. You want to start by making a long metal pipe. Stick some seriously toxic acid and some kerosene in there, slap on a dead simple rocket engine, and you have yourself a common rocket propulsion unit. Do that anywhere from 1 to say 1,000 times, strap them all together, and you should be good to go. Worried about cost? Don't be. They're stupidly cheap. Reliability? It's probably fine. It'll work perfectly. And it does. They launch a small test vehicle to over 10 kilometers, proving that they can make a rocket that travels in an upwards direction. Technically, this was a complete success, but international onlookers looked on with the looks of, oh no, Germany is building missiles again. I wonder who went like that. Oh. America and the Soviets took particular issue with Lutz Kaiser's claim that he'd launch a spy satellite for anyone. We can spy on each other, but we don't want anyone else spying on us, was basically the thought process. France just didn't want a competitor to their Ariane space program that might blast their decollage to the depths of hell. Let's just say that the news in these countries wasn't very supportive of OTRAG. Back at the ranch, things weren't going much better, because countries near Zaire that did not like Zaire figured out that they could invade Zaire by using OTRAG and their missile technology as an excuse. This got to the point where the OTRAG team was worried that they would just be murdered in the night. Come work for OTRAG, launch rockets in the middle of and also maybe get murdered in your sleep. It's fun for the whole family. To keep the fun times flowing, they started hiring locals to build their own security force, because nothing screams fun like a bunch of armed men. Except, wait, no, they were the fake security force that liked to pretend to be a security force, even though they had no experience as a security force and were absolutely not armed. I mean, hey, whatever floats your boat. Some time goes by and no one's killed, so OTRAG figures it's as good a time as any to launch another rocket, because everyone loved it so much the last time. They're back at the pad again. The tanks are taller, the burn time longer, and they're gonna go up even further. So they count down, launch the thing, but oh whoops, engine damage causes the thing to fly a bit shorter than planned. Let's just call it a success and move on. And because it was such a success, they decided to do the exact same launch again, except that this time Mr. President himself would be there to watch. And so he arrives at the plateau. Him and his entire administration. No pressure. And so there they are, Lutz Kaiser standing next to Mobutu as they wait for the rocket to launch. So, how's the weather been?
Liftoff. Vehicles beginning pitch program. Oh, that is not good. Oh, no. Oh, sweet Jesus, we are still pitching over. Oh, fuck, we're still going. Oh, no. Oh, and we hit the side of the mountain.
Well, let's go have lunch. A year goes by and Mobutu gives OTRAG the boot. Why? Mostly because Zaire got a ton of military support from France, and France did not like OTRAG. France also convinced the German government to shut down OTRAG there, so they just got a double victory. Decollage lives to fight another day. But Lutz was not deterred. He would find a launch site for his rocket. And he found it, in the middle of the Sahara Desert. And who gave him this launch site? Muammar Gaddafi, brotherly leader and guide of the revolution of Libya. Because why the hell not? The OTRAG team set up shop once more and they launched another rocket. And then they launched more rockets. And they kept launching rockets until 1982, when Gaddafi realized that he could just steal OTRAG's tech and make missiles, so he seized all their equipment. And there wasn't much OTRAG, a company that builds and launches rockets, could do without a place to launch rockets or rockets to launch. Eventually, OTRAG shut down. That didn't stop people from asking Let's Kaiser to build rockets for them, though. Multiple people approached him with proposals for rockets that would definitely be used for peaceful purposes. Saddam Hussein got straight to the point, though, straight up asking Let's Kaiser to build him missiles. Fuck this, I'm moving to an island. And he did that. And then a couple decades passed. And then he died. And this is where the story ends, with everyone finally realizing that making a rocket with 1,000 boosters is an objectively bad idea that will not work. Unless, what if someone made it water-powered? That'll work, right? Oh god, here we go again! Somebody make it stop!